Okay, Xinghui, right? Very good.
Shifu, I'm just wondering, when we address venerable, why do we have to say Sang something Xia something Fa Shi?
Okay, thank you. That's a good question. So this is more the Chinese custom, or Chinese custom, not Chinese Buddhism custom, but Chinese custom. So traditionally, it is from what I found out some time back, Chinese refer to their parents as Sang something, Xia something. Yeah. So this got imported into Buddhism when disciples or when disciples refer to their teachers, yeah, or when juniors refer to their seniors, yeah, to render them the same kind of respect as they do to their parents, yeah. But then and I think it permeates so much that then we also have the 上求佛道，下度众生. Yeah. So a lot of this has more to do with the Chinese culture and custom. Perhaps an extension of your question would be, how do we actually address venerables? Yeah. So in Singapore, we tend to refer to all the venerables as 师父. Yeah. Nothing that wrong with it also. In fact, it's a good reminder to ourselves, yeah, to take all the Sangha members as our teacher, not to have the kind of strong discrimination, or this one is my teacher, that one is not my teacher, yeah. But at the same time, because we use it so prolifically, we may not be aware of this, or we may not consciously think in this way also. Some may think of 师父 as just a term, yeah, to address monks. Then to write 师父, there are two 师父. One is 师父 with the fu, with the father, yeah, behind. One is the 师父 with the like a 传 kind of fu, yeah. So the first one, which is the father, yeah, that is actually referring to this person as your teacher, as your master, yeah, as in like master apprentice. So you are learning directly from this person. This person is your very immediate teacher, yeah. So in the sutta, the Buddha advised the monks that the preceptor should look upon the disciple like a son, yeah, to care for the well-being of the student, of the disciple, like a son, like your own child, yeah. That means you have responsibility for everything. And similarly, or rather, and in not so much in return, but on the other hand, for the student to look upon the teacher like a father, yeah, with the kind of respect and the kind of like trust and so on and so forth, yeah. Whereas the second 师父, which is the one 人字旁 one, yeah, that is written like 传, that one is more like a specialist, yeah. That one means more like specialist. So you know, we say 指甲师傅, yeah. And in China, all the drivers they call 师傅. Yeah. So if you were to send a message to a venerable, you must write, either you don't write 师傅, or you must write with the fu. Okay. Yeah. In the Buddhist tradition, we don't address monks as the 师父, as in that fu. Yeah. Another term to use is 法师, or 法师. So I think in the 大智度论, there's this phrase like 以法为师, 名之为法师，名为法师。Yeah, so that this person has the Dharma as his abiding, as his teacher, as his anchor. Yeah, so address him in this way. So in the other traditions, it's a bit different. We have terms like in the Thai tradition, we have Tan, we have Ajahn. Longpo is more a Thai expression. Yeah. Then in the Myanmar tradition, we have like Ajahn. Sorry, maybe it's Sayadaw. Yeah, Sayadaw. The monks all start with you. So U something, U something. Yeah. And then, but in the Chinese tradition, we also use terms like 禅师啊、律师啊. So something 师 usually 3 of these different permutation. Yeah, 法师 is the most common. Then 禅师 and 律师 is a bit more specific. Yeah, and tends to be that this venerable is like very focused on this. Yeah. Because if you think about it, all Buddhists, not just monks or nuns, all Buddhists are supposed to practice sila, samadhi, and panya, right? So supposed to learn 戒定慧, precepts, concentration, and wisdom, and develop that, isn't it? So why is it that some are specifically 律师? You mean others don't 持戒? Others don't. Lü Shi literally is Vinaya master. Yeah. Is from what I know, the writing is the same as the lawyer that Lü Shi. But it's not that they are lawyer. Yeah, but they usually it means that they are very specialized into it. Yeah. So it's just like to drive a car, you need a license, right? So everybody have license, but not everybody are driving instructors. So driving instructors must know how to drive, but they are especially specialized into how to drive. Yeah. Yeah. So in a way, similarly, there are those who are even more specialized into the Vinaya. So doesn't mean that others don't. Yeah, but there are those who are very specialized, and this most particular in the Chinese Mahayana tradition. And there's also the 禅师. Yeah, so similarly, you mean there are some lineages they don't meditate? Shouldn't be lah, huh? By right, shouldn't be, right? So, but in China, at some point, then seems to have some specialization. Yeah, some specialization. So like in Taiwan, in China, there are some centers that is known specifically for certain practices. Yeah. So then they start to have this kind of specific terms also. But by and large, if you refer to anybody as 法师, nobody will say, hey, 我是律师. We shouldn't have such a problem. But if you go to Taiwan, then more often than not, at least those who are more into the teachings, they will refer to all the venerables as 法师, and then only more specifically to the ones that they have taken the precepts administered, those who are their preceptors who administered the precepts to them, then they will refer as 师父. Yeah. Or let's say you are, always learning from this particular teacher, then you address that venerable as 师父. Yeah. But I think for many Taiwanese, they may also just refer to venerables generally as 师父 also. So yeah, so that's that.
That's for extension. Then how do they, when the 三皈依, then how do they decide the name to give you? 的皈依的名字。
Oh, how they decide? I don't know how other people decide. But I know how I decide. You want to know? I just anyhow choose.
师傅 I have a question.
Oh, wait.
Venice, yeah.
Wait, hang on. Let me just wrap up this thing about the
It's
name.
actually in relation to these questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I always have think that if the name of 师傅 is with the same like 传 something, is it ordained by the same 师傅?
Yes. So also in the Chinese Mahayana tradition, then we have the 字 and the 号, and then so we have a lot of these intricacies, and a lot of this is due to the Chinese custom. Yeah. 所以我们汉人是礼义之邦。Yeah. That we are a tribe, or we are a people of etiquette. So we have a lot of etiquette, a lot of protocol, a lot of etiquette. So this thing about our name, right? So like 世传观, yeah. So at some point we adopted the Buddha's clan name. Yeah, the Buddha's clan name is Sakya, right? Sakya. Sakyamuni Buddha, right? Namo Sitya Muni Pho. Yeah. So in the early days, it's actually Sitya something. Then it got shortened to Shi. The Shi is actually based on Sitya Muni Pho, the Shi. So then the middle character. So in the Chinese tradition, I don't know whether it started from day one, but I think it's not from day one. In particular for Chanzong, I think, then each of the 一花开五叶 and so and so forth. Don't ask me specific. I also never go into specifics on that. But each of the lineage, then they have a verse, and the verse is usually a verse from the sutra, yeah, which is supposedly, from what I remember, it's like linked to the 开山祖师, and the 开山祖师 chant this verse, then 开悟 something like. So each of the lineage, right, or each of the generation will start off with one of the character. Yeah, like I remember someone mentioned to me like 妙法传 something like. Yeah. So if you have a certain character, and usually among the different lineage, right, they don't have overlap of the character. Yeah. So that there's no ambiguity. And so once you hear the middle one, you know roughly which zong is it, and roughly which generation. Because each character's generation usually lasts for maybe 20-30 years or so. So the verse itself is maybe like 8 characters or something. So by the time you go one round, it's a few hundred years. Yeah. So if you have the same character, your generation should be the same. You cannot be one cycle above. Okay. Yeah. It's usually quite impossible. So then yeah. So but like for example, in my case, right, I wasn't ordained in Singapore. Yeah. So my actual ordination name is not Chuan Guan, it's Zhi Xing. Zhi Xing, because so that is from US, from my teacher Sang Miao Xiaqing Lao Hershang. Yeah. So it's when I came back to Singapore, then after Guatuan for a month in Comingsan, then there were a couple of them there was another venerable who was taking mentorship under the abbot, then 2 others were ordaining. Then somehow then and now taking mentorship also. Yeah. So then it was given this name, but this name is actually quite interesting because the other venerable, his original Dharma name is Ying Kuan, and mine is Zhi Xing. But we were not directly given the name. So the abbot prepared 4 names and then roll it up and then mix it up. And then I was the first person. Yin Guan Fa Shi is the second. By right, he should come first because he's actually my senior. But I also don't know why I was told to stand in the first position. Then I was asked to just pick one. So it was random one. So just take one. Then what happened? Then after that, Yin Guan Fa Shi took one. Then the abbot turned around and come back. So what? 你拿到什么? So open up, I end up taking Chuan Guan, and then whereas his is Chuan Xing. So actually, somehow I took his and he took mine. But there were 4, you know. We could have taken any of the other ones, but somehow we took each other ones. Yeah, in a way, because Zhi Xing, his name became Chuan Xing, Xing Xing the Xing. Yeah. So Chuan Xing would be a close, sounds alike like Zhi Xing, the last character. Whereas for him, Yin Guan would sound more similar to Chuan Guan. Yeah. So sometimes it's very interesting. Now when you see this face, right, you think, oh, this is Chuan Guan Fa Shi. But if I had just picked one to the side, then today I will not be called Chuan Guan. Could have been Chuan Xing. Or there was another venerable that day when for him, he was ordination. And then there's another one, I think, from China, a Chinese PRC. The third candidate, he is Chuan Yu Fa Shi. Chuan Yu Fa Shi. So for the first 2 of us, we were ordained before. Then, and Chuan Xing Fa Shi, he was ordained in China. Yeah. And he ordained when he was, I think, in his teens. So he's quite a bit more senior than me, actually. Yeah. So think about it. If I had taken a bit to the left, maybe I become Chuan Xing Fa Shi. Taken a bit more to the right, maybe I become Chuan Yu Fa Shi. But because I didn't take those 2 or the other one, which I also can't remember what is the name. So you all don't know that I could have been that name. But because from first day, you know me as Chuan Guan Fa Shi, so you really think this is Chuan Guan. But actually, this is never Chuan Guan. Yeah. In fact, this was Zhi Xing. Still is Zhi Xing, but even Zhi Xing is also given. It's just artificially labeled. That's why it can become known as Chuan Guan also. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So usually I will take the for lay students, the middle name I will use Ru. Yeah, because that's what was usually given. Then the last character, I would also find a character that sounds similar to the last character. But usually the term we use would have some Buddhist connotation. Yeah. Yes, Phyllis.
Sifu, what about people called Bante? Bante, is it also one like Sifu?
Bante is also another term that more in the Sri Lankan tradition, they call Bante. It kind of means teacher. Yeah. But from what I recently found out, Bante is actually a shortened form of another word, which is Pali. So strictly speaking, Bante itself, not really Pali. Yeah, but it's a shortened form of another word which is in Pali. But today, unanimously used within the Theravadan tradition, in particular, the Sri Lankan tradition, to refer as teacher. Okay, so have a nameless day ahead.